What's up guys? Today I just want to talk about my first impressions and a short review of the Lakai Telfords. Subscribing to my YouTube channel makes you about 10 times cooler and 50 times more likely to succeed in life. You should give it a shot. So the Lakai Telford is a reintroduced classic silhouette for Lakai, and before I go into my own thoughts, I figured let me just read the marketing spiel to you guys. Okay, so here is what Lakai has to say about the shoe. Reintroducing one of our heritage models, the Telford. A high top on our XLK cup sole technology, lightweight, flexible, and comfortable right out the box. Yeah, that's actually pretty much it. Okay, so that's all the information I could find on the shoe from Lakai themselves. But this is what the shoe looks like. It is basically a Lakai version of like a Nike SB Dunk or something similar to that. Very much so like a classic basketball type silhouette to it. I've been skating these shoes for a couple weeks now and definitely have just a little bit of damage to it, nothing too crazy, but I figured it was enough time for me to start, giving some first impressions of how I feel about the shoe. Mostly it's just been some flat ground, doing a bunch of kick flips and things like that, so let's start to get into my first impressions. I think to start, we could talk about durability. The suede and the outsole are both actually pretty good. I put some super glue along the stitching just so that it didn't rip, and that proved to be pretty much all I needed to make these shoes last a while. I probably have about 10 hours of skating on these, and as you can see, there's very little damage. Hopefully that focused, but yeah, very little damage on the shoe. Still looking pretty brand new. The least durable part about the shoe, I would say, are the laces. Basically, they basically started to rip within like 2 sessions. But what's really awesome about this shoe is that it has hidden lace loops. So basically you could lace behind this thick layer of suede and yeah, your shoelaces are good to go. So once I realized that, the shoe became a whole bunch more durable for me. And then the sole is pretty simple, nothing too crazy about it. I don't think it's gonna last the same lifespan of the upper or the suede, but it's okay, nothing too crazy to report there. I think that is probably the least durable part of the shoe. One thing I just noticed as I am doing some close-ups of the shoe is that I should actually give a little bit more marks on the durability because the laces are just torn to shreds like up and down the shoe completely. So yeah, the durability, it's good on the outsole, it's good on the suede, but the laces and the lacing system is just, it could use some work for sure. Next, I want to talk about the stability, and obviously it's a high top, so very good. My ankles are feeling very nice and cozy, and they don't feel like they're gonna break, which is awesome. I have a really bad ankle problem. Both my ankles are basically the strength of like loose leaf paper. So having anything that is a high top is basically a necessity for me these days. And these shoes definitely felt really stable right out the box and just really solid in general. They passed the kickflip test, like boom, done, we're good to go. So yeah, stability, durability, they're both pretty good actually with this shoe, which is surprising because going back to the durability for a second, this is a 2-piece toe cap. Like I said, it's kind of copying that Dunk Jordan 1 type like toe box. And yeah, once I just did that like light bit of super gluing around the stitches, everything else is really holding together well, which surprised me. So yeah, durability, stability, both, I would give like 4.5 stars out of 5. Super solid. Next, I want to chat about the looks of the shoe. I can definitely see these being a little bit polarizing because of the fact they look so much like a Nike SB Dunk. But for me, I'm totally down to support a skater-owned brand that has a Dunk style shoe. Like, that's totally fine with me. So for me, the looks are actually really awesome. I think that it's a timeless silhouette. Super solid looking, and this kind of like royal blue, gray, and white color was the strongest for me out of the first 3 that they launched. So for me, yeah, 10 out of 10 on looks. I think it's a really good classic setup, and right now with so much of kind of like fashion and style harkening back to like the 90s, I think that skating in a basketball looking shoe is just like a no-brainer. Like I think it's a really good design. And also speaking about the looks, kind of the shape here I think is really awesome. Like I think looking down on this toe box is just sick, and this is not focusing, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, looking down at this toe box is just really awesome, and the flick is always super consistent, and yeah, I think that this is just like an awesome summer go skate the streets type of shoe. Just looks sick on footage. Just yeah, I like the shoe. Can you tell? I like the shoe, okay? But not everything is good about the shoe, so I definitely want to talk about the weak points. So for me, the biggest weak point is the comfort. To me, this XLK outsole and midsole is very thin, and then look at this, the insoles here. These insoles are horrible. They're so thin. They, you know, they're soft-ish, but generally speaking, they are just so thin and floppy that I cannot recommend this shoe on a comfort basis. It is just all board feel, which is awesome, but zero comfort. So walking after a while, skating after a while, even if you're not jumping down huge sets, your feet are just definitely gonna start to hurt. So on a comfort level, I would say pop in some insoles that are a little bit thicker, something that has a little bit more like heel cushioning especially. I noticed that my heel was hurting a lot, so I popped in some insoles from a different pair of skate shoes that were just a bit thicker and sturdier. So hopefully that helps that issue. But yeah, comfort, gonna have to give that like a 2 out of 5. But the board feel is like a 5 out of 5. I think that the kind of like tech street skaters are gonna love that about it, that you could just always feel your board. It's super responsive. You're never gonna be kind of confused where your foot is for sure, but your feet are gonna hurt. They're just not gonna thank you in the long term. So personally, I would say beef up the insole 100%. So that pretty much wraps up what I think about the Lakai Telford. To kind of summarize here, I think it is a awesome silhouette. I think that the durability is pretty strong. I love the lace protection system here. I love that it's a high top. I love the 90s basketball inspired look. All of that to me is just A+. But yeah, when it comes to comfort, definitely gonna have to give it some bad marks there. Just, to me, it's just not a comfortable shoe personally. And I think that, you know, with the padding in the ankle area and in the tongue, I think they could have gone way harder. Honestly, I think this is it's a bulkier silhouette, right? So I think just kind of owning that and just being like, boom, pad, boom, foam, boom, like thicken it up a bit, and I think it would be a really perfect shoe. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you guys like the Lakai Telford, and yeah, comment if you want me to review any other skate shoes or shoes in general. And definitely leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. That's Lakai Telford.